Okay, hit me up in the comments if you're seeing this, because with StreamYard, it doesn't tell you, I don't think, how many people are present in the live stream. So, just got to make sure that I'm completely closed out of OBS, because that's what was taking forever. Yeah. Okay, here we go one more time. Hopefully I can see in my YouTube stream here how many people are around, but I doubt it. You know, it's weird how perfectly it was working before, and it just decided to kind of crap out on me there. Okay, right, Booster Gold. Okay, so yeah, now it looks like we are live. Fantastic. Okay, so anybody else counter bids on the Booster Gold lot there? Josh R. Comics and Gaming made it $1, and that seems sufficient to me, but I'm going to give it another 30 seconds. So just going to wait around. This is part of why I wanted the camera to be looking down at the stuff, so that while I'm just sitting here, you're not seeing my awkward face staring around at stuff. But all right. So that's it for that lot. Thank you, Josh R., for the $1. And everybody, it's American funds. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see what the shipping costs are down in the bottom of the screen like last time, because I didn't set this up for that. It would have been fine if I had texted, you know, like the banners and stuff telling you what the shipping costs were going to be. Whatever. Okay, so the next one is a Silver Surfer lot. And there's number 58. Number 75. I like that one. Shiny cover. It's not like it's crazy high value or anything, but I like it anyway. And then lastly, number 86. That's coming from Rayman the Silencer Man again. So I think for the first several things, because it's going to be a little bit before we get to the nice stuff, just ask me what the grades are if you have any interest. If you don't have any interest, because there are so few people here, just a couple of pass, you know, just say pass, and I'll move on to the next thing. It's not like I was even expecting to sell the first couple lots. So I'm going to let it go for 30 more seconds. That's Silver Surfer number 58 and around a 9.2. Silver Surfer number 75 and a 9.4. And Silver Surfer number 86 and a 9.4. Whenever I say 9.4, I actually mean more like it could be higher, but I maxed it out at 9.4 just in case, like, I don't notice the tiniest little things. Oh, yeah, Stevie B. I am not too young to be listening to Patsy Cline, but I understand that the judgment there. Really unruly Simeon. Okay, so $5 starting bid on that. It turns out that my chat. Okay, so the chat is kind of working on StreamYard, but it's actually working faster on my phone, even though I said I was going to turn off the Wi-Fi. It's a learning process. Next time will be a heck of a lot better. So we've got Unruly Simeon at $5, and I'll show these off again. I really wish I kept them in the bags and boards now, because I got to be extra careful when I'm holding these up, even the lower value ones. Number 75, 9.4. And I didn't respond to Unruly Simeon's comment about Patsy Cline. Yes, she is the greatest, or was anyway. And there's that one. So 15 more seconds, and it goes to Unruly Simeon for $5. Is present tense. Unruly Simeon says is the greatest. Okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, when you consider that recorded music is kind of a way of immortalizing people, just like literature, yeah, she is the greatest. Okay, so that goes to Unruly Simeon for $5. Thank you very much, Unruly Simeon. And the next lot is, I said I was going to go back and forth here between universes. This one's a 2-book lot because the second one is from my personal collection, and it's actually, you know, a moderate value. So we've got The Flash number 3 from the New 52, and that is, again, like, there's nothing wrong with that book. From Rayman the Silencer Man. I don't know why I have such difficulty remembering his name. So there's that one, and then the second one is this, The Flash 80-page giant number 1. There's a significance to that, actually, like a last second addition to that lot. So yeah, it's an 80-page giant, and what I'm looking at here is that we've got just the tiniest little crunch on the top of the cover, and then there's some minor discoloration along the spine. Not like the kind of spine damage that you get from opening it too fast or too hard. It's like it rubbed up against maybe a dirty book that was in front of it or something, but nothing else rubbed off. So we got that one. And I'm going to start the timer at 45 seconds, starting now. If anybody's interested in this Flash number 3, New 52, and Flash 80-page giant number 1. No minimum bid. Just looking to get rid of them. August 1998. And the interior is obviously solid because it's a relatively new book. Unruly Simeon with $1. So I'm going to throw a minute timer on there for anybody who might consider competing against Unruly Simeon on that. And that. Isn't it good that I put the music on in the background to just kind of like drown out the silence? This is also why it's good to do these things with somebody else involved. Take a little of the extra social pressure off. Okay, so Unruly Simeon gets those 2 books for $1. Kind of offsets the $5 on the last one. Okay, so we got the first 2 of these came from Rayman the Silencer Man as well. We've got Ghost Rider number 26, classic from the early 90s. That's in a solid, I'm going to say 9.2. There's the tiniest little spine ding, but really nothing else wrong with that one. We got Ghost Rider number 42. I know it's kind of random, but that's why I'm putting these things up as lots. It's because there's no way I could tie them into anything else that I know of anyway. And then this is the one that I'm a little bit jazzed about. Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Punisher, trade paperback from the early 90s. I'm going to give you an exact date in just a second. And I'm going to start a 1-minute timer on this. No minimum bid. For that, number 42 and number 20-something. I'll go back through them in the minute that we have. And I don't really want to open this that far. So you can look it up for yourself if you want to know the date of that release. But that's a trade paperback of Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and Punisher. And then Ghost Rider number 42. And Ghost Rider number 26 with the X-Men. All in pretty much immaculate condition. Hello, Alex Big Blue. That comment came up almost immediately on my StreamYard app, so hopefully that's a good sign that it's catching up. So we got about 10 more seconds to bid on that, and then that's going in the pile. We got $1 from Discovery Bay. Thank you for breaking that silence there. So now I'm going to set a 30-second timer to see if anybody wants to outbid Discovery Bay on that. Wish I had more to talk about. I don't know. I just don't. Probably the disappointment of that OBS experience I just had. So, Sleepy Dork, Ghost Booster Pack. What do you mean by that? Like, combine the two of them together? I mean, I sold the one, and Discovery Bay is already... Yes, Comics for All People. I do have Uncanny X-Men coming up. It's Modern Age, and there is more that I have in my personal collection, but I'd rather not bring it up. Hello, Ruben Nieves. Okay, so now that we're kind of filing in a little bit, yeah, I do have some X-Men, some doubles from earlier on that I might be interested in getting rid of. But the Uncanny X-Men stuff from the 90s, I do have coming up. I can expedite the process a little bit, get it moving. Hello, Immortal Biggie Shack. So something must have just ended, right? Did Hiroki Burroughs' thing just end or something? Because I know he normally goes for like 6 hours or something crazy like that, which is why I was late to the stream in the first place. Yes, Disco is here. He's going to buy everything. Could be worse. Chad RCG could be here. I don't think Chad RCG would be interested in a lot of this stuff, to be honest. Like, I got a couple slabs coming up, but that's about it. Oh, and I have to show everybody something. By the way, Discovery Bay, you won that for $1. So email me at comicsaltruism@gmail.com. Oh, wait, I've got your shipping information. But for anybody else who won anything, yes, I do have Venom coming up as well. But yeah, anybody who wins anything, just send me your shipping information and which lot you won, or lots, plural, and I will be able to do a better estimate on shipping costs. The one thing that makes it different as a Canadian selling is that the shipping costs fluctuate pretty drastically. Oddly, when we cross the border, like when I ship to New York versus California, it comes out to around the same. So yeah, but the problem is Canadian. I shipped to Alberta last week, and it was way too expensive. It was like letter mail, and the way I ship letter mail is I take a manila envelope, I put the comic book in a bag and board, normally Mylar, between 2 sheets of cardboard, and I tape it shut so that the book won't move around anywhere, and it's got the cardboard for protection. I fold over the side of the manila envelope so it's nice and tight against that cardboard, and then I ship it out letter mail. It costs like $4 to send it. It's supposed to be anywhere in Canada, and this one book ended up costing me $6.50 Canadian. Like, that's more than 1.5 times what I should have had to pay. So I don't know. I'd rather not make any guarantees about how much shipping is going to cost and then screw myself. Which is fine. I guess it's better than screwing you guys, right? Okay, so next lot. I actually would probably bid on this one myself. So this first bid came from Rayman the Silencer Man once again. That's Daredevil 192. It's got some problems. I'm trying to get like a nice glare on it so that you can see what's wrong with it. But yeah, that's not going to work. It's got like 4 relatively deep spine ticks that kind of like they do that crease across the cover. And then next up, we've got Daredevil 226. Gotta love those yellow covers, right? And that one's in pretty much immaculate shape. Then we got 235. Again, couple spine dings. It's an easy 8.5, 9.0. If you're into Daredevil and you want a reader's lot from the 80s and early 90s, I think. Yeah, early 90s. This is the one to get. 237. Again, basically flawless. So right now we're at 4 books. Yeah, some spine dings. I'd say like a 9.0 on that one. And then number 239. Another 8.5, 9.0, somewhere like that. And 242. That's a nice copy. And lastly, 265. It's slightly miswrapped, but there's nothing else in the way of damage to talk about there. So $3 to Toy Crunch. It's funny, I was about to say minimum bid of $1. So Toy Crunch, thank you for the $3 bid. And I'll just go back through those for everybody while I time this out at all right, we're good. While I time this out at 1 minute. All right, so Daredevil 192, probably like a 7.5. We got 239, 226, 226, yeah, 226, 235, 237, 242, and 265. You know what I like about free stuff is that I don't have to cringe that lot's going for $3. I mean, not like it's a crazy pricey lot or anything, but we're looking at 2, 4, 6, 7 books for $3. So, oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, Toy Crunch 78 and Short Box Padawan are going to be combining. So you guys must live relatively close together, right? We'll be in contact about how you want stuff shipped, because when it comes to relatively low value items, like JB bought a big box from me of Marvel's Greatest Comics, a Fantastic Four reprint lot. I think he got like 30 books shipped and it was 21. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I think he's still in the chat. It was relatively inexpensive anyway. Oh, same house. That's cool. Roommates. Okay, so that one's going to Toy Crunch for $3. And, okay, I'm going to do 2 DC because I did 2 Marvel in a row. And then I'm going to look into the X-Men. Who is it that was asking for the X-Men again? It was Comics for All People, I think. Either way, if he's still here, I'll make that happen. Okay, so we've got from Rayman the Silencer Man, Action Comics number 688. That is, I want to say that's the first issue. You know how they did all 4 of the new characters to replace Superman after he's killed by Doomsday? I think this is the first issue with that guy. Man, you'd think since I was such a big fan of that run that I would remember their names and stuff, but and then we got this from Chad RCG, Action Comics 846. I don't believe there's anything significant about that one. And then we've got Adventures of Superman number 500. And that's a variant of some kind. I think it's just the B cover. It's not second printing. No, it's just, I think that's the one that came in the bag. The white bag with the red Superman logo. I still have mine, but I never unbagged it. So that, I think that's that one. And then Adventures of Superman number 505, also from Rayman the Silencer Man. I love that whole Halo thing that they've got. Like, they're making it extra epic. So we'll put a minute on that, and I'll show them off again during that minute. Stevie B says it is. I believe about the bagged comic is what he would have been talking about. Huh, $2 to Discovery Bay. Okay. So you guys have a minute to bid against him. Starting with Action Comics, $6.88. First, whoever that is, $8.46. $4 to Discovery Bay. Adventures of Superman, $500, not bagged. It's got that sort of, it's glossy, but it's also pastel. I really dig that. And again, with that whole, I think there's something Christ-like going on here, like something hyper-religious that they were doing with the whole Superman thing at the time. And then Adventures of Superman, $5.05. So 30 more seconds if you want to counter that Unruly Simeon. And I'll just show that just because all the conditions are solid. Yeah. Nobody knows what the hell that cover is, Stevie B says. Absolutely. Okay, so that one is going to Discovery Bay for $4. Thank you, JB. And then the last one before I get into some Uncanny X-Men is this lot here, just leading up to the wedding issue, Batman number 48, regular cover. And that is basically flawless. We got number 49, basically flawless. There's also nothing hyper special about any of these, although everybody was like super jazzed as they were coming out. And then they immediately dropped in value, even the variants, except for this one. Some of the variants of this ended up selling and still do sell for quite a bit. But this is just one of those ones that I bought off of the shelf. It's got a couple spine ticks. I'm going to round it down to a 9.0, but it's probably higher. I wish I could show you the spine ticks. You can kind of see them from that angle, but I love that cover anyway. Something about it. I actually am tempted to buy the sketch cover and have it graded. But we got Josh R. Comics and Gaming with $1. Good call. I should have known. So we got 48, 49, and 50. 48 and 49 are the A covers, and 50 is the Jim Lee, I think. I'm going to look at that actually. But I'm setting a 1 minute timer starting now, so while I read Josh's book. Oh yeah, this is the one where, okay, so they have a couple of the other covers on the inside. Forgot about that. $2 to Discovery Bay. I wish I didn't have to use my phone as my chat, because I get the chat on the phone like 20 seconds before I get it on the StreamYard. So I don't really have a choice, because otherwise I could look this up. Yeah, this is Jim Lee. So $2 to Discovery Bay. I'm going to give it 30 more seconds starting now. $3 to Josh R. Comics and Gaming. I may as well just show them off one more time, because there's a bidding war going on. Number 48. By the way, these are awesome books. I think I was missing number 47, and I ended up just reading through 48 to 50 anyway. And then my actual run started at like 60, I think. Okay, so it's going to Josh R. Comics and Gaming for $3. Thank you, Josh. And now we're going to move on to some X-Men just to get it out of the way. Oh, yeah, I got some stuff here I'm looking forward to. some of it's from my personal collection, and then just to kind of like bump up the Rayman stuff like I have been doing already. But this is not one of the lots I was necessarily looking forward to. It just happens to be near the top of the pile. So we've got Uncanny X-Men number 260. That's in 9.0. We got Uncanny X-Men 288. 9.2. 9.4. Yeah, 9.4 easy. X-Men 338. This is from the mid-90s, so this is after I dropped off of comic collecting, so I really don't know anything about these mid-era books. And then this one was Professor Xavier and the X-Men. Got Ruben Nieves with $1, and that's for 4 books total. And that's number 17 of Professor Xavier and the X-Men. Then going in backwards order, we got number 338. Stevie B says, I'm waiting for JB to spend all his money, so he's too broke to bid on the big books. To be honest, that's what I thought was going to happen when I was watching Thuro Kuburo's auction and all the people that were there just throwing hundreds of dollars at it. Crazy. So timer for 1 minute is set. And then lastly, number 260. Yeah, right. Like the amount of money that's currently been spent is like what, an hour's worth of wage for certain people. So Discovery Bay with $2. And by the way, if anybody thinks it's about time to get into some keys, because I don't really see more than 15 people, which is what we're at, joining this at this time. It's 10:20, and I've still got a pretty big stack to go through. It might almost be better to kind of intersperse some keys along the way. Right now we're at $2. We got 30 seconds for X-Men 260, 288. All very nice copies. 338 and 17. I'm waiting for a full Ruben Nieves, or I'll just go for like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay, so that one's going to Discovery Bay Comics. Thank you again, JB. Next up, I didn't really know how to group these together, so it won't surprise me if nobody bids. I'm cool with that. Won't be offended. I'm pretty sure the charities will survive without a couple extra bucks. But Batman Gotham Knights 2, number 3. It's not a key. It was just in that box from Rayman the Silencer Man. And we got Showcase 93, number 4, Catwoman. Bombastic cover right there. And then and then this one was also from Rayman the Silencer Man. Mud Pack, 1 of 4. And that's Detective Comics number 604. I decided that because the set that I mentioned in my preview was complete, I forgot that I had it up in my eBid store. So I'm actually going to keep that whole and just sell that in this lot if I can. And then just to kind of make it worth a little bit, Catwoman number 1, new 52. So like I personally would be bidding for the lot just for that book and hoping that I buy enough books that the shipping makes it worthwhile for those 3 that I didn't really want. So got Catwoman number 1, new 52 Starting a 1 minute timer right now, by the way. Detective Comics 604. These are all in an easy 9.4, by the way. Showcase 93, number 4, Catwoman. And Gotham Knights 2, number 3. It's about as random a lot as you can get, but Catwoman number 1 is worth it. $2 from Unruly Simeon, starting a 30-second timer. It's immaculate. Show you the back cover as well. That is definitely going to be a worthwhile purchase for Unruly Simeon at $2. Just for that one book. And then these throwaways, which, you know, good for a read and everything, but Gotham Knights 2. And Showcase 93, number 4, Catwoman. And Detective Comics number 604. Okay, so that's no more action on that. So that one is going to Unruly Simeon for $2. Now I'm going to move on to some. Yeah, this one's actually worth a bit. I put it in here to kind of like give it a little bump at this point, because if I was watching, I would be bored. And yet we just went up another viewer. So, you know, yeah, we got Defenders number 75. That one came from Rayman the Silencer Man. That's a nice looking copy. It's not a 9.2 or a 9.4. Because we got some. Yeah, you know what? Actually, it is more like a 9.0. So that's all right. Like, I was kind of surprised when you consider what else was in that box from Rayman the Silencer Man. Pages are off-white. I don't know. Yeah, you can see them from there. Staples are tight. So that one's a good book. Defenders number 75. This is one of 3 for this lot. Starting the bid at $1. Which is foolish of me, but anyway, Defenders 108. Gotta love those white covers when they're not covered in dust. That's actually a pretty clean copy of number 108. Hey, Jasir's Comics and Things. It's a long time no see. I've never actually come across you in any chats, I don't think. So this one's got some dings, some ticks, but I would still grade it at like an easy 8.0. Maybe even an 8.5. We got $2, $3 to Unruly Simeon, $2 from Ruben Nieves, by the way. Discovery Bay bid $1. And then lastly, out of those 3, we got 111. This one, I gotta say, it's like a 6.0, 6.5, probably. You can't really see it from there because I gave it a press. Which, by the way, anybody who wasn't watching earlier, I am offering free pressing for anything that you see. Like when I go like this and you think that there's some damage on it that could be pressed out, just let me know, as long as you're willing to wait a little bit. I'm starting a 1 minute timer now, by the way, for that $3 to Unruly Simeon. But yeah, I can press these books for you. If anybody watched my comic pressing tutorial, I know what I'm doing. I don't have the best equipment or anything, and I don't have all the time in the world, but I can definitely improve the grades of certain comics. So in reverse order, that's Defenders number 111 with Hellcat on the front, like a 6.5 probably. Defenders 108 at an 8.0. And this is the one I'd consider to be the big bang out of the bunch. And that's number 75 in like a 9.0, 9.2. So I'm going to count down from 10. And if nobody else bids up, Discovery Bay bids $4. Good call, by the way. Well worth it. So unless you want to see them again, just mention it in the comments and I will show them again. Otherwise, I'm going to count down 30 seconds starting now. I'm just going to show them again anyway. Hey, Steven Spock. Good to see you. And 111. And by the way, Comics for All People, if you have any specific requests about Uncanny X-Men, just as long as you're not asking for like, what was it, 244 first Gambit, I have the reprint, but yeah, I don't have any of the huge major keys. I do have a Jubilee first appearance coming up from, what was that, 1989, I think, or 87 is an odd number. Anyway, I do have one of those coming up. I also have, I got it from Farley, first appearance of Negasonic Teenage Warhead is in my collection as well. I can just step off and grab that if you're even still in the chat. Either way, that Defender's Lot is going to Discovery Bay, so thanks again, JB. We're going to move on to... Again, I wasn't really sure how I was going to group these together. Hey, Farley's Nerd Cave. Yes. I can't remember if I bought that in your auction or if I got that as part of my prize, but either way, it was a hell of a deal regardless. I was also considering selling your Ms. Marvel 1 through 7 with the 7th printing of #1, Kamala Khan. But yeah, we'll see how it goes when I get there because I still got some stuff to go through. So we've got Batman #500, cover B, first printing. It's a slightly heavier book. I think it was, it's not a 65-pager by any means, but I think it was, oh yeah, no, it is. I think it comes out to 50, whatever, 50-something pages. It's got one little spine tick on it. Nothing else major. This is a 4-book lot, starting with Batman 500. And then Shiny Batman, as I call it. It's not even technically Batman, but we're looking at 2 spine ticks. Still probably a 9.2, though. Detective 675. For anybody who loves that era of comics, it's a good set of Batman for you. $2 to Discovery Bay thus far. Oh, and Josh Tobias, welcome. Josh Tobias lives in my city, and he was actually my very first buyer, if I'm not mistaken. He bought some Wolverine books, like back when I had 10, 15 subscribers. Farley's Nerd Cave bidding $5, hasn't seen the other 2 books, but they're nothing major anyway. Those first 2 were really where it's at. Robin 2, #1, The Joker's Wild, with the hologram cover. That's the one benefit of being stuck showing them off like this rather than the way I had planned, is that you can really see that shine. So there's that. And then the other cover. I don't know what the deal is with this, but it's #1 again, but it doesn't have a hologram, because I remember when I was younger, there were like 3 different covers and they all had holograms. I don't know what this one is. Whatever. So you got 2 copies of Robin 2, #1. We're giving it 30 seconds. Right now it's going to Farley's Nerd Cave with $5. #1 with the, who's that? Oh, that's just a Robin hologram. We've got Shiny Batman, Detective 675. And lastly, Batman 500. Hefty book. Discovery Bay, $6. $7 to Farley's Nerd Cave. Wow, that silence is deathly when you take Ray Charles out of the equation, huh? All right, so in reverse order, going back to a 30-second timer, #500. B cover, first printing, Detective 675. Again, these are all high grade. Robin 2, number 1. All right, yeah. I'm just going to give it to Farley's Nerd Cave for $7. Discovery Bay just folded. So thank you, Farley. I'm sure you saw from the thumbnail that we are splitting the earnings from this auction between Calgary Wildlife Rehabilitation Society and Little Pink Houses of Hope. Farley, I know that you're big on cancer. Well, you're big against cancer, obviously. All right, so shipping prices. Dressier. I'm going to pull this up somehow because I had it all worked out and I had it as a graphic on my OBS, but I had some major technical difficulties just due to lag time being like ridiculous. We're talking 30 seconds or more. So what I have, just to be safe, is 1 to 3 books is $6. This is all in American. 4 to 6 books is $8. 7 to 10 books is $10. 11 to 15 is $13. And if you want a slab, it's $15 automatically. And then add add the other prices to it. Shipping within Canada for any Canadian viewers is a little bit. So Farley, I was thinking that I would actually do the calculations on shipping and then bill you. So what I'm hoping everybody will do, and I may as well take the opportunity now to add this banner here at the bottom, because what I'm going to have to ask everybody to do is to email me with their shipping information, which I know I have yours, Farley, but email your shipping information to me there. That's also my PayPal. If you want to do this like ASAP or something, or if you just want to make sure that was from last month. You know what? I'm going to put this here while I'm at it. I'm going to put the shipping costs down below just so that everybody knows. Which, of course, I got to go back through my OBS and find that stuff. Just give me a minute here. Yeah, to the UK Greyman, it's actually surprisingly inexpensive. It's probably around the same price as it is to the US, but I don't want to give you a promise on that just in case it is slightly more. But I will let you know if you order anything. But yeah, you're not going to pay a ridiculous additional price on that, like any more than Americans are. Because I think it's about the same for me to ship to America as it is for Americans to ship to within America. It's kind of strange, but that is how it tends to work for me as a Canadian, or just slightly more. I'm only going to post this up to 10 books because you can kind of figure out where the what the trend is from there. And that's all in US dollars. There we go. So those are your shipping costs right there. Okay, so I will send you an invoice, Farley. Next up, we may as well keep on the Batman vein, because we got enough potential people here to bring in the dough for this one. We've got Batman Year 3, so that's issue 436, number 1. I'm going to say 8.5, but it's probably more like a 9.0. This is the full set, by the way, all 4 of them if you want to start bidding. But I don't know if you already have it or if it's your thing or whatever. Number 437, part 2. Actually, Josh, you might have thought you missed something good. Yeah, whatever. I'll show it in a second once I've shown off all of these. Tan Rose, is that Tanya? Like Tanya from here in London? We've got that one. yeah, I'm going to say these are all 8.5. Just round it all down just a touch. And then part 4, issue number 439. So that's all 4 books in the Batman Year 3 series. We are currently looking at $5 from Discovery Bay. And yes, so hi, Tanya. Thanks for stopping in. You must have noticed it from my personal Facebook because I posted that by accident and then I just decided to leave it up. And Josh, I'll show you what you missed. Farley bought this for $7 American. And it was Batman 500, which I know you already have a copy. You have that die cut copy. Shiny Batman, Detective 675. I think you watched my preview video, my second preview video, and saw this. Robin 2, number 1 with the hologram, and Robin 2, number 1 without the hologram. So that's all you missed. Right now, we're still looking at Discovery Bay with $5 for Batman Year 3, all 4 parts in 8.5, although a couple of them are closer to a 9.0. Part 2, counting down 30 seconds starting now. And Josh, I'm pretty sure you've got Farley's Nerd Cave is in with 6 on the Year 3 set. Pretty sure, Josh, you've got this already. I think you might have even gotten it from the same place I did. How's my focus, everyone? I've got my display there, and I've got it on my phone down here for the comments. Hey, Mark Knapp 68, thank you for lurking. Issue number 3. Looking at like 15 seconds if you want. Oh, Discovery Bay in for 7. Great, thanks for the heads up, everybody. Everything's looking good apparently. Okay, so that's going to Discovery Bay, Farley Folds for $7. Awesome. Thank you again, JB. Who was it that suggested that JB was somehow going to run out of money? Because, yeah, I don't see that happening. And I actually kind of want to get things rolling into the better stuff, so I just skipped. There isn't really much you're missing here in this lot that I just kind of threw together. Justice League International. If you comment below that you want to give me like $1 for these 3 books, we've got Justice International number 14, Justice International number 22, and Superman number 2. That's actually the only one that's really worth anything. If you want to throw in a bid, cool. But honestly, like I'm setting a timer now for a minute. And if I don't see a bid, I know it's because it's just whatever. I should have really put it at the top of the show so that it was out of the way nice and quick. But Superman number 2, Justice League International number 22, and Justice League International number 14. And that's about a minute. So I will say that one. Feel free if you're watching in the replay. I don't know why you would be because it's already at 48 minutes and 55 seconds. Okay, Discovery Bay says $1. I guess we're starting a 30-second timer on that if you want to counter it. Superman 2. And thanks again, JB. That sounded almost like I was incredulous or something at the fact that anybody bid anything. Oh, you need 3, Gray Man. You know what? If you guys can deal with just staring at my wall for a second, let me go take a look. Because I might just bump up this lot by 1 book. Gray Man, since there's a delay, maybe you can answer me this. Do you need number 1? Because we could actually turn it into a lot that's actually worth a couple bucks. But yes, I do have number 3 in my hands right now. So you can consider that part of the lot. Okay, I am going to instantly, hey, thanks, Josh. I know it's a nice wall. You know what? That is from Matilda Gothica. That is from New 52 Justice League calendar that my wife bought me, and I just cut out all the top pages with the illustrations. So I have them all in behind there. I can switch them out. So, Grayman, if you're actually willing to bid, I can take another couple seconds and find the rest. 3, 5, 6, 9, 12. And you have number 1 and number 2, I'm guessing. You know what? I'm going to grab them anyway, just because there's a delay, and I may as well use the time, right? Oh, yeah, I just picked up number 9 like a little while ago. And I just picked up number 12 a little while ago. I personally was pretty jazzed when I found them because they were what I'm missing. But frankly, completionism within this Superman lot doesn't matter to me as much as it used to. So, yeah, if Grayman wants to throw in a bid here, I'm not going to bother showing off Justice League number 1422 and Superman number 2 again. The Superman number 2 there is 9.4. And I couldn't tell you the exact grades on these without wasting your time and pulling them out, but just from looking at them, that's like an easy 9.4. And yes, it is a nice Electra poster just here. I got that from one of my LCSs that closed. They just gave it to me for free because I liked it. Number 5 is in a 9.2, 9.4 range. You know what, Tanya? I do not have any of the Creep Show or Tales from the Crypt. And even if I did, it would probably only be like the reprints. We got number 6, a little something going on with the bottom staple. Just it looks a little loose. So I'm going to say that's maybe an 8.5. But I don't know if I opened it up, and I might find out that the staples are actually tight. And yes, burn goodness. This one is actually one of my favorite, if not my favorite cover from that run. Number 9. That's looking to be in a, yeah, again, I'm not seeing any spine ticks. That's part of why I was so jazzed to find it. The comic book store that I just mentioned that gave me that poster for free was having a half price sale when they were going out of business, and that's where I got that. Hey, Metarog. One of your streams just end. I remember you saying that you might not be able to make it because you had a bunch going on, but you would try. So thank you for showing up. And number 12 was another one that I got from that store at 50% off. But I got to tell you, Grayman, if you want to buy just the ones you're missing, I'm going to have to start the bidding at like $6 American, just because I'm taking a loss on this. But I'm still going to say 100% of the sale for this goes to charity because I got them for 50% off at one of my LCSs. So just let me know if you want to bid. Number 12, these are all like 9.4, 9.2. Number 9. Also let me know if you want me to just leave out those Justice League Internationals. And JB, if you want to bump up the bidding a little bit, because I just reset it to 6, you could still get that other lot for $1, the Justice League International 1422 and Superman 2 for $1. Grayman's got 6, so he's got the minimum bid there. If we get it up to 10, I'll throw in that number 1, which for Grayman will be a second copy. Is Disco JB's nickname? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I saw him bid $1 for those first 3. Superman 2, Justice League International 14, and Justice League International 22. I'm just going back through. Yeah, he bid $1 already, Grayman. Okay, so Grayman. JB, you're going to get those first 3 for $1. And Grayman, I'm giving you a minute. giving others a minute to bid up on those. Otherwise, you're going to get the Superman lot there for $6. So I'm just going to show them off again for everybody else. I'm not expecting any counters on this, but just to show them to take up some time. This really takes me back to the good old days. Like I say, my completionism with Superman sort of went away. This was a lot that I was definitely, like, at the time, I needed all of them for some reason, and a couple of them were just impossible to find. Yeah, so Metarock, I may as well explain this now because I'm at 18 viewers. So that's settled now, by the way, Gray Man. You get all those books for $6. JB, you get those first 3 for $1. So Metarock, what I'm doing for a 300 subscriber / 100 video / matchmaker contest is what I want the viewer to do. And it's going to be available on Instagram and YouTube as 2 separate contests that I'll be drawing at the same time in the last week of February at some point. I'll be making an official video for it, probably tomorrow morning or something. What I want you to do is to take any characters you want from any universe, any era within, you know how I roll. Like, I like to use my imagination or have others use their imaginations. And you're playing matchmaker. So if you think, what were my examples? Silver Age Wonder Woman with modern age Captain America. If you think they would make a good couple, you can hook them up. The one thing that I said was, if you want Felicia Hardy and Mary Jane Watson to kind of make amends for their differences, and Peter Parker wins in the end, you know, like in a 3-way sort of situation, you can do that too. Basically, just make a match. Use your imagination between any comic characters. They don't have to be superheroes. You know, if you think what's her name from Revival would make a good significant other to Mark from Postal, the guy with Asperger's, do that. So YouTube, it's going to be, you got to make a video, and the final price for that one is going to be $50 US, shipping included, for whatever. If you're shopping on my eBay store, bidding on auctions there, or buy it now stuff, you get $50 free plus the shipping. If it's an auction, like next time's auction, if I do another one in a month with a little less of the bullshit that happened before, you get $50 for free. Instagram, it's going to just be that same thing that everybody does with, like, the repost this with tagging me in it, tag 2 friends or something, sub me up on YouTube, instructions or whatever. That's going to be a $25 prize. So $75 total to anybody who wants to enter both and happens to win both, which is highly unlikely. And yeah, I'll be drawing that in the last week of February at some point, so that you can use that money for the next live auction, or to make some purchases in my eBay store before I have to take a bunch of it down. Because they're going to charge me $80 to relist all these free listings that I took advantage of. Okay, so moving right along. Roger will win both. You know what, Gray Man? It wouldn't surprise me. So, next one, we've got It's Seen Better Days, but this is from Rayman the Silencer Man. Probably like a 7.5, just because of all these tiny, tiny little dings. I tried to count them up just now, but it adds up to about maybe 10. So 7.5, Superman, Man of Steel. I think this is his first appearance, but don't take my word for it. It's one of those ones that had the cardstock cover with the die-cast cutout. They did 4 for each of the Superman, like 1 for each of the 4 Superman titles that were going on at the time. This is a 4-book lot. That's the first one. This is the next issue in that series in way better condition. No, not way better condition. 7.5 probably as well. And then these 2 are from my personal collection to round it out. We've got Steel, number 1. That's in 9.4. And Steel, number 3. I do not know what happened to number 2. But. So there's those 4 books, all Steel. I wish I had the, I think they made a Shaquille O'Neal Steel comic book, didn't they? Like an adaptation from, wasn't there a ridiculous movie up with Shaquille O'Neal as Steel? I'm pretty sure there was, unless maybe I just did too many mushrooms back in the day. All right, so number 3 in reverse order. I'm starting a 1-minute timer right now. You need 5 more comics, huh, Rayman? Well, I'm sure, or Grayman. I'm sure we can find them. There's Steel number 1. Well, hold your horses, because I'm going to show you the stack that I have left to show off. Superman Man Steel number 23. Yeah, so Stevie B, I guess I should go check it out, huh? Like, I've specifically avoided, there's number 22, I think the first appearance of Steel. I specifically avoided certain movies like Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, even though I think he's awesome as Deadpool. Apparently that movie just blows. Yeah, there are a couple others where I've specifically avoided them. The Fantastic Four ones with Chris Evans, though, I feel like I should probably check those out at some point. I just haven't yet. So I'm going to say 10 seconds. If I don't see a bid up here, that one's going away. Okay, so that's it for that Steel lot. Grayman, I'm going to show you my stack here. So these are all kind of split up into 4 book lots-ish. Some of them are 3. So that's what I've got left for that. Then I've got, give me a second here, I got to find them. Then I've still got all of these, which are mostly giveaways, contest wins, the 2 slabs there at the bottom from Los. Anybody who watched the preview, the first preview, saw most of that stuff already. So, next one. This is a 2-book lot. I got this stuff for free because there was a little bit of a mix-up with the guy that I shipped to. So, Black Lightning, number 5. It's all right. It's not the sharpest. So I'm going to give it like an 8. Maybe 7.5. Unruly Simeon, we are talking about Steel with Shaquille O'Neal, which I have not seen. And Shazam number 6. So this is a bit of a pricey book, but there's almost like a subscription crease. It's not exactly a subscription crease. There it is. See how it's at an angle there? It doesn't break the color, but I think I got to knock the grade down to like 5, because even though like the spine ticks are minimal, there's a couple of them that end up sort of looking a little bit like creases. Trying to get a good reflection here. And you see them up in the top right corner, or I guess it would be your top left. And then there's that big one right down the middle. We're going to start the bidding at $3 for this lot. So Shazam number 6. And I'm only setting it that low because it was free. Otherwise, I'd be setting it higher, because if I bought this at an LCS, I'm sure it would cost me like 15, 20 bucks. Staples are tight. The pages are, what would you call that? Cream-ish, off-white. Got $3 to Discovery Bay. Everything else is nice and intact. You're so honest. Yes, well, I try, Tanya Rose and Britannia. Yeah, I gotta say I make mistakes, but I try not to. What's Sexy, the book, Grayman? And then there's Black Lightning number 3. I don't have number 1, but I feel like I've got number 5, sorry. But I feel like I've got number 4 in my collection if anybody wants to throw that in. Once it gets to $5, I can grab that Black Lightning number 4, I think it is. But this, at the moment, we're looking at $3 to Discovery Bay. Somebody stop him. I'm all right with it because, like I say, it was free, but it's a hell of a deal to JB. He's upping it to 5. There wasn't even a counter, was there? You just want to see that Black Lightning. Okay, give me 1 sec. I'm going to find it. So talk amongst yourselves, as I'm sure you are. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in, by the way. Very kind. You heard that big bang. That's my massive my massive filing cabinet I got here. Okay, JB, I was mistaken. So it's a pending. All right, Josh R is saying 550. So I'm going to say regardless because I was mistaken about which one it was, but it's number 9. A 9 kind of looks like a 4. If you guys want to retract those bids because I don't have an encyclopedic memory for my comics, you can feel free to just say, I take it back, ! But I'm putting a 1-minute timer starting now. We're at 550 from Josh R Comics and Gaming, unless he says otherwise, for Black Lightning number 9 in 5.0. This is why I say, you know, like, you probably don't want to take that bid back, Josh. It's 550 with that included. So what is your intended run, Gray Man? Like, are you looking for all of that run? It's quite a bit, I think. I want to say there were like 100 something in that run that started in 87. So, got 20 seconds as far as I know. I'm just going to keep an eye in. Okay, so JB is in for 6. Josh, do you have a counter for that? Because otherwise, these 3 books are going to JB for Discovery Bay for $6. Looks like that's going to JB. Yes, it is. All right, so thanks again, JB, for that. Now I feel like I'm taking a step back after that because the DC stuff is all gone. I ran through it. Got Captain America number 339, not so hot, probably like a 5.0, 6 tops. Just right. Josh R, good thinking, saving your money for the bigger stuff. And Captain America number 347, also not looking that great. Probably, again, like a 5.5 as a compromise. Interiors, I'm starting the timer now for a minute because, I don't know, probably not going to get any bids. There's the reason why I say that, I don't know if you can see that, it looks like it was damp at some point. And again, that's why I offer free pressing for anybody who wants it, because I will do that for you. It would be a worthwhile purchase at $1, of course, for these 2 books after I press them out, because frankly, aside from a couple spine ticks that do break color, most of the problems that you see, if you can see that, there's a bit of a weightiness, and that applies to both of these books. Number 347, Toy Crunch, 78, bids $1. And that one. Both of those could use a press, and it would actually do them pretty well, I would say. Like, take it from that 5.5 probably up to a 7. Maybe not so much with this one, actually. The 5.5 would go up to a 6.5, maybe. And I don't want to make any guarantees, right? And then have my work end up not being good enough. This one would definitely go from a 5.0, which I think I've actually overgraded it by saying 5.0, but I could bring that up to a 6.5 easily. So 30 seconds, and that'll go to Toy Crunch 78. I get a drink of water. It's no Caesar dressing, but I love water, which would be really weird for anybody who didn't see that video. Okay, so that's going to go to, wait. Oh, wow, 4 a.m. Gray Man. Okay, yeah, I'll just run through it super quick. How does that sound? So the next lot is going to be Avengers 218, Avengers 270, Avengers 275 with some unfortunate like spine dings that could never get fixed. Probably a 7.0. Say 6.0. And then what if Vision killed the Avengers? Had destroyed the Avengers. So what if number 5 from the 90s? So that, I guess if I'm going to start counting them from this point, that's lot number 1. We got some Weapon X stuff. Marvel Comics Presents number 73. These are all in like 8.5, 9.0. Number 82. Number 86. Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do with this. I might just, I don't know. Marvel Super Action number 8. It was like a random one that was in that Rayman the Silencer Man prize. I think I was just going to sell that as a single book. The next one, X-Men number 1. I don't remember what the deal was there. I think it's just flashback. There was like a 0 and a -1 or something in that run as well. X-Men number 7. Love that cover. It's from the Blood Ties story arc number 26. X-Men Unlimited number 11. And Wolverine number 53. So that's lot number, what is that, 4 out of what remains. Then, oh yeah, I got something worthwhile coming up. So this is just a random Deadpool lot. They all have some spine ticks, like they're not what I would call CGC ready or anything like that. But Deadpool number 14, number 44, Deadpool Cable number 25. If anybody sees anything of significance there, let me know, but I don't think there is. Deadpool Pulp number 3 of 4, very random. You can see what I'm talking about when I say there's some unfortunate damage with all of them, except for these next 2, which are immaculate. Deadpool Secret Comic variant number 1. I got that from White Whale Comics, but I really had no interest in keeping it after I just couldn't find the other 3 comics there. So number 1 and number 3 out of 5. Or no, was this an actual run? Either way, I got number 1 and number 3. So that's lot number 5. And then I got some pretty sweet X-Force stuff here. If you're into X-Force, I want to show them off by order of importance. So we got number 13, whatever, not a big deal. But we got number 15 with some spine ticks and wrinkles. Oh, so you don't want to see the slabs, Gray Man, and like the Bronze Age Marvel I got coming up too. But that's cool. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for your bids. That's awesome. We got that one is the first Domino Grizzly Wild Pack. And then this is the big one. believe that's second appearance of Deadpool. And I think that's the one I also got from White Whale Comics. I have 2 copies of this. One of them I was reserving for the eBay page, and then there's that one. So, anybody... Right. Yeah, Gray Man, thank you for stopping in. If anybody wants to take a closer look at any of those 5 lots that I just showed up, tell me, because, and I'll just remind you very quickly what they were, sort of expediting the whole process at this point. We got the Avengers lot, Bronze Age, or Copper Age, I don't know. We got the Deadpool lot with some spine ticks. We got the X-Men lot, modern stuff. We got this book by itself, Marvel Super Action number 8. We got the Weapon X lot. And that's that. So anybody wants to look at the rest of those or any of those, just holler and I'll make it the next one, because I'm going to go back through and we're going to consider this the next lot. Once again, we got X-Force number 13, probably a 9.0. We've got X-Force number 15. We're starting the bidding at $5 for this lot, by the way, because it's got a couple keys. I don't think that's a key, but it's just one of those popular books that tends to sell quite a bit. So that's in 8.5, 8.0, something like that. Got $5 to Toy Crunch. And Josh Tobias is running up against you there, Toy Crunch. We've got first appearance of Domino Grizzly Pack. That's number 8. Looking to be in like a 9.4 to a 9.6. We've got Farley's Nerd Cave coming in with 6. Just got to double check that this is actually as good as it. Yeah, that's easily like a... I'm going to max it out at 9.4, but it's easily higher than that. Josh Tobias in with 7. Farley's Nerd Cave in with 8. Which is still an awesome deal when you consider this one as kind of the cream of the crop in this lot. And you can see from the reflection there that it is a solid 9.0, 9.2. I don't know, there's a little bit of waviness, but it's nothing that's actually like damaged in the cover. I don't know if I would want to risk pressing that with the gloss the way that it is, but I would almost put that at a 9.4 just because that waviness was almost unavoidable with a lot of books at that point, and I don't think it's considered to be damage. But that's Deadpool's second appearance. I'm putting 30 seconds on the timer. We still got Farley's Nerd Cave at the max with $8. I wish I could do that really fast talking. I'm not even going to impersonate it because it would just be a joke. This one was from Rayman the Silencer Man. I think it was like pretty much the only key that he threw into that lot for the box. Of course, it was a lot of books. So I'm surprised that I got any keys whatsoever from that. Okay, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is going to Farley's Nerd Cave for $8. Thank you, Farley. Josh Tobias, if you were into it for that second appearance of Deadpool, I will be putting up X-Force number 2. That second appearance of Deadpool. Was it number 2? I think it was. Yeah. I will be putting that up in the eBay store, which I think you have notifications for that or whatever. So you will have another opportunity. And as you probably noticed, the eBay stuff doesn't get a lot of bids. Like some stuff has sold for a ridiculous amount. First appearance of Scorpion, that Amazing Fantasy number 7, I think it was, like $20. It's crazy. Anyway, we got a mixed lot here. I'm trying to remember how I had this split up. Yeah, okay, so we got 3 Bronze Age Marvel, not exactly great condition, and a Spider-Man number 1. It's a regular cover, so not fantastic, but it's something. So this is probably like a 3.5, but it's Power Man number 25. So even on a 3.5, that's still, a reasonable purchase. I'm going to start the bidding for this lot at $5 just because of the era and the issue numbers. No major keys, but still definitely a worthwhile purchase. So $5 starting bid. Luke Cage Power Man number 25 and a 3.5-ish. Iron Man number 74 in approximately the same. I would actually put that at like a 4.0, maybe even a 4.5. Again, I'm offering free pressing. If anybody wants to delay their shipping, I can press for you. There's that Spider-Man number 1 I was talking about. That's also from Rayman the Silencer Man. It's in immaculate condition, I think. I'm not seeing any flaws. Oh, yes, I am. Still a 9.4. And then this one, again, with the low grade, I put this one at a 2.5 or a 3 because it's pretty heavily spine rolled. Still starting the bidding at $5 though, because you can't go wrong with Amazing Spider-Man 145. It's 25 center at 2.5. Got Discovery Bay with $5. Spider-Man has a way of doing that to people. I got some stuff coming, and I'm spending a ridiculous amount on shipping for it, but it's well worth it. It's from somebody in Washington. No, Farley. I will not be putting up any slabs on eBay because unless I win some in like a contest or something, I do still have. By the way, wow, the bidding's going like crazy. $17 to Steven Scott. But yeah, Farley, I will be getting a hold of you about something that I might be having some stuff coming up. But we're talking a while. Just because I'd have to ship them out to get them graded, to get them back. And they will be high-value items when the time comes. But, yeah, we'll be in touch about that. Thank you, Farley, for stopping by and for all the bids. So, Amazing Spider-Man number 145 at like a 2.5 or 3.0. Amazing Spider-Man number 1 at 9.4. Yes, Josh, Tobias. I will be having some Wolverine and Venom coming up in just a minute. So Invincible Iron Man number 74 at like a 4.0 or 4.5 probably. So far we're looking at 17. We got 2 folds. It's looking like that is going to go to Scott and Steve, or Steve and Spock. And lastly, Luke Cage Power Man number 25. So that's going to go to Steve and Spock. And Steve and Spock, because the bid below you was only $10, we're going to say, wait, actually, we can't do it that way. I'm going to have to charge you 17 because that's probably why Dressier folded. So PayPal is... There we go. That's my PayPal account. Don't forget to do friends and family as your whatever the parameter there. So Josh Tobias, I think I'm going to grab the Venom stuff immediately after this lot that I'm about to show you. Yes, and I agree, Toy Crunch 78. Good get, Steve. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, where I said, I don't know, it might actually be like a 3.0, because the angle I was looking at it in through the bag, I didn't see that there's tape on there. You see that? And then there's that tear. It looked like that tear was pretty much the only flaw with it, but it is so deeply flawed beyond that. It's easily like a 1.8, maybe as low as like a 1.4. It's something I can press, but I don't know about like applying that much heat to tape like that, whether that will destroy the book or any possibility of getting that tape off. And it looks like it's been there for years. So I don't know if I would want to remove it or even try with Goo Gone, because once you apply chemical to a book, it's considered restoration, which is kind of crazy. It's good for a reader copy though, like it's fully intact. Some nice pages, some vibrant colors. But this is a 4-book lot, starting with Mighty Thor 200 in like a 1.8, maybe as low as a 1.4. We're going to start the bidding at, just because of the next couple I'm showing, bidding is going to start at $5 for these as well. Number 256, and that is a nice looking book. I pretty much just showed them in this order because it's chronological, but I would consider that to be the value in this lot. Starting bid $5. We got that from Discovery Bay. I'm not going to give you a solid like grade on this one, but I would estimate it at like a 6.0. I'd have to actually go through and flip through each and every page just to tell you exactly what the grade is. But the same applies to this one, or would apply to this one, number 265. It presents really well, but I got to bring it down to like a 5.0 just because on the back here, I'm not going to mess around with it too much, but there's a tear and it's 1 inch into the guy that looks like Han Solo there doing the alley-oop. But anyway, so that one's whatever I just said, like probably a 5.0, 4.5. Number 265. And Toy Crunch is coming in with $6. And then this is the last book in that lot. It's probably an 8.5 just because of some very light spine ticks. That one's also from Rayman the Silencer Man. It's an homage to the Thing versus Hulk cover from Fantastic Four. So we're at $6 right now. I'm going to start a minute timer for Thor number 432, Thor 265, Discovery Bay still in it for $7. Still a hell of a deal, regardless of the condition of that issue 200. Like, I looked it up, and even at a 1.8, I want to say that book is like a $6 list value. I would pay $3 in a store potentially for it. But yeah, these two in the middle are awesome. 265 at like a 5.0, if only if it wasn't for that tear in the back, and then 256. So 30 seconds, Toy Crunch. If you got anything to say, now's the time. And then lastly, I don't even like showing it off, but I mean, it is a big comic, despite the damage. And yeah, how did I know, Metarog, that you already had those? But yeah, I love the art in this. And frankly, sometimes I like having a reader copy of an expensive book just for reading it so that I can actually enjoy the reading process. All right, Toy Crunch says, let JB have them. So that's $7 more to JB. Thanks again. You got quite a box coming to you. I'm expecting that when I get a hold of you, you're not going to do the same thing you did with that Marvel's Greatest Comics lot and just have me bag them like together or whatever. Okay, so I promised Josh Tobias that I was going to have some, what was it, Venom and Wolverine? Just give me a sec here. I'm still here. I'm just trying to remember what it was I mean, I know I'm going for Venom and Wolverine, but I had an idea in mind. Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm going to start you off here while I go looking for the Wolverine books I was going to find. So Venomverse #1. There's nothing too special about this, but I do remember it selling out at my LCS and the second printing selling out at my LCS. So we're going to start the bidding because of what I know I'm about to grab for the Wolverine. We're going to start the bidding at $3 for this lot. There's Venomverse #1. I'll be right back. All right, so this is the Mystique run from the Wolverine. It would have started in the early 2000s run. So Toy Crunch is saying $3 already just for that. A couple of these books actually go for something. I couldn't tell you which ones, but I've been trying to get rid of them for a while, and for some reason, nobody has taken them when they're actually on my eBid store for a wicked price. But there's Wolverine #62. It's a 5-issue lot total. Venomverse #1 is book #1. The rest are Wolverine. Here's #63. Hope Josh Tobias is still in the house because I'm looking at 14 viewers at the moment. And then 64. I think that's the one, and it's just for that cover, like the, you know. And then 65. So I hope you're still here, Josh Tobias. Oh yeah, you are. Okay, so $4 to Josh so far. Josh would have noticed that these were up in my eBid store, but individually, yeah, they're probably too much combined. But now that it's here up on auction, you're probably going to get a sweet deal. Venomverse #1. We got $5 to Toy Crunch. Wolverine #62. Oh, Josh Tobias, before you bid, after Toy Crunch just there, you do know that it's American prices for this, even though I'm here in London, Ontario. It's just because I know most of my viewers are American. Still $6 from Josh Tobias. Awesome. And then 64. These are all easy, 9.4, probably 9.6. $6.50 to Toy Crunch. I'll allow it because your money's worth more here. And 65. So it looks like it's just the two of you, and I'm just going to let you go at it, I guess. Once I see that a bid hasn't increased in like 20 seconds, I'll put a 30-second timer on and say we're getting there to the end. Any questions, let me know. So far, $7 to Josh Tobias. Yeah, Comics for All People, #1. You are correct. Venomverse worth a couple bucks. But when you say couple bucks, you mean that it's worth more than a couple bucks. Yeah, maybe you're right, Tanya. But if he loves Wolverine that much, there is plenty in the eBay store. Because I just transferred a bunch of my listings from eBid over to eBay. They're the same prices as they were on eBid, but now I'll actually get $8 and I'll throw into Tim's. Unfortunately, I can't count that for anything, but I will accept that Timmy's. Timmy, for American viewers, Tim Hortons. It's basically a staple here, even though it's kind of garbage coffee, and it's actually like terrible when it comes to ethics of like, I mean, they do employ a lot of Canadians. By the way, Toy Crunch 78, I'm talking while I give you a chance to upbid a little bit. And Comics for All people yelling out, yes, worth more than a couple bucks. But yeah, anyway, and then they're not ethical coffee either. It's not Rainforest Alliance. It's not fair trade certified. It's basically like the Walmart of coffee. And a lot of places here in Canada, even McDonald's Canada, I don't know if you knew this, anybody, but we actually in Canada have fair trade coffee in our McDonald's because they noticed that they were losing money to all their competitors who were actually doing the ethical thing for third world countries who grow their beans. So good for you, McDonald's. All right, got a 30-second timer. $8 to Josh Tobias. And yes, you are absolutely correct, Josh Tobias. And I got to be honest, I pick one up on my way to work like half of the days that I work, which is all the time. So I drink my fair share too. All right, Toy Crunch 78 folds. Josh Tobias, you're going to get that lot. Congrats. It's still cheaper, and you know, with the Venomverse in there, still cheaper than if you had bought it from my eBay store. So thank you for that. All right. Next up, because I'm still trying to escalate, we're probably only looking at maybe another 20 minutes for the whole process for those of you who are interested, and we are escalating things. So I know we only have a couple big spenders in the house, but hopefully we can get something for this. This is from Roman Curtis. I tried putting it up on my eBay store, and nobody bid on it. Maybe my initial bid was just a little too high. Right, Josh Tobias. I actually have that as a banner here. No, actually, I'll give you the .ca. So Josh Tobias, that is my eBay store. And then, okay, so this is the full set of Fallen Sun. There's number 1. This is all from Roman Curtis. I've already sold everything else that he sent me, so thank you, Roman Curtis. Not that you're ever going to see this. Number 2. Number 3. And these are all just like everything else, like a 9.4-ish. What did I just say? That's number 4, I think. They don't put the numbers on these because they're supposed to be like highlighting each of the main characters. And there's number 5. But they are actually numbered on the inside covers. They are all in immaculate condition. By the way, everybody who's buying something, I will be putting everything in fresh Mylars, just so you know, just like these are in fresh Mylars. So I got 30-second timer. If I don't see a bid for $2 starting bid for this, I'm just going to put it back in the fold. Great books, though. I checked them out very gently, especially the Spider Woman, one of my favorite. Discovery Bay with $2. Thank you, Discovery Bay. And then Hawkeye and what's her name? Is that Hawkeye number 2? $3 to Toy Crunch 78. And Iron Man. So 5 books for $3 so far. Discovery Bay with $5. That's $1 a piece as it stands. There are B covers that are actually worth something in this lot, but unfortunately, this is the A covers. So you are looking at, I believe, slightly higher than list value for each and every one of these. Comics for All People is $6. But I can't tell you the exact list value of these books. I just know that it's slightly higher than the original list or the original cover value. Number 2. Hey JB, since you're in the comment section and Steven Spock just mentioned the package there, how did the Marvel's Greatest Comics box arrive? Like, was everything okay in there? Because I did my best to pad it up. Toy Crunch folds. So it's between JB and, oh, that's funny. I just asked Discovery Bay the same thing that he just asked Steven Spock. It's like some weird cosmic paradox going on or something. So Discovery Bay, if I don't hear from you in the next 20 seconds on the $6 bid, these are going to Comics for All People. Okay, so I'm actually going to grab a third one of this. So this is 3 copies of Detective Comics #1. These look awesome, and I will show off first this one. That one came to me from Josh R Comics and Gaming. He bought it from our LCS when it came out and just gave it to me because he had multiple copies, I think, just as I do. I'm going to start the bidding at, I got to say $10 because these are actually still worth something. So that's the Tim Sale 90s. Bidding is $10. And then I'll go and grab the other one. So we got the 30s, we got the 90s. And we've got the 40s. I think that's my favorite out of all of them. I like Mike and Laura Allred. They did the 50s one. That's the one I'm keeping. But I actually think I prefer this cover even though I'm keeping the other one. So I'm going to put a minute timer on this. Just you consider the cover price of each of these books. It's basically like when it first came out anyway. It's like you're getting 3 for 1. Josh R, if nobody else bids, we will work something out for you to buy the 40s one from me. And we'll just divide this by 3 unless somebody bids. So it'll be $3.33 American for that 40s. I figure that's kind of like a way of me expressing my gratitude for giving this one to me in the first place. Starting bid, $10 for all 3 of these. Tim Sale 90s version. And can't remember who the artist was on this one, but it's awesome anyway. This one, by the way, I got to shout out Comic Spectre on this because he gave me that. So can't see chart for some reason. No, Comics for All People #1. That's actually coming up. That's like the third to last thing because I've got something else. Oh yeah, I've got X-Men 222. I don't know. We will get there shortly though. So that's looking like a nope on that, right? Yeah, Josh R Comics and Gaming. We will work something out for that 1940s. Awesome Joker cover. You know what, Comics for All People, I'm just going to expedite that whole process and show off the 2 remaining Uncanny X-Men books. And this, which also came from, Josh Tobias. I totally forgot about this being in there. But I know that you're more geared toward like the 90s Wolverine. Either way, you might find this to be a very worthwhile lot to bid on. You got Return of Wolverine #1. That's some kind of variant. It's worth the same as the rest of them, which is a little more than cover price. And then we've got X-Men 222. I was right. That's at 9.0. Solid book. Love that cover. And it pains me to give it up. Starting bid for this is also going to be $10, which I know sounds a little steep, but this first Jubilee, I saw it on the wall at my LCS, and they were trying to sell it for 40. So if you can get it for 10 plus shipping and the other 2 books in addition to, it's a hell of a deal. So starting bid of $10 for X-Men 244 first Jubilee at an 8.0. Yeah, and that's the other thing. The LCS, it definitely wasn't as high as an 8.0, and it's $40 up on the wall. So 222. solid copy. $16 to Comics for All People as it stands, with Dressier and Josh Tobias in the runnings. And then Return of Wolverine #1, maskless variant, let's call it that. We got $20 to Dressier. I mean, I act surprised, but it's actually well worth that. Comics for All People #1 with $21. I don't know why I'm showing that one off. It's kind of not the most important one out of this lot here. So I'm starting a 1-minute timer. So far, it's going to Comics for All People at $21. And then First Jubilee, Uncanny X-Men #244, and a solid 8.0, possibly higher. Got 22 to Dressier's Comics and Things. Got 23 to Comics for All People. I don't think he's backing down, Dressier. 24. I don't think he's backing down, Comics for All People. I could make it a little more interesting too. 25 to Comics for All People. Wow, Dressier is full of your shit, Comics for All People. He just bid 30. Oh yeah, Josh Hart Comics and Gaming. You mean you bought the 244 from me? Yes, that is correct. In a slightly lower grade, I believe, because this one came to me from... No, the other one came to me from Take the Time Collectibles. As part of his, like, I donated to charity and I gave some blood, and he sent me a slightly lower grade, and half of which has already sold. So we're looking at 32 to Dressier's Comics and Things. Still fighting away over there. Metarock, yes, this is so exciting. I love to see bidding wars. I also love to be in bidding wars. I can't remember who I was up against last night, but Kenny from Comic Keg 84 was having an auction, and there was a bunch of Captain Marvel stuff in, you know, nice shape, and I got as high as like $60, and then I started to factor in the shipping costs, and I was like, I actually kind of hope that somebody outbids me at this point, and luckily they did by $1 or $2, so I didn't end up spending. After conversion rate, it would have been like $100 Canadian. Still worth it. Not amazing though. So I'm putting a 30-second timer on it. So far, it's going to Dressier's Comics and Things. I'm counting it down. All right. So that's going to go to Dressier's Comics and Things. Thank you, man. That is awesome. Okay. Like I say, those will get fresh Mylars and everything. Hot damn, Josh R. Comics and Gaming says. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is a Perillo lot, because Los gave me a bunch of Perillo covers, and they're amazing, but they are, however, some of them are just a little pricey. So, you know what, on second thought, I'm just going to group these first two together because they're a little less pricey, and the other one is worth like the two of these combined. So, and yeah, Dressier, I say the same thing myself, actually. When I know that something is even partially for charity, it's kind of like, it makes it worth it, even if you pay list value for something, you know. Okay, so the Perillo variant of X-23 #1, that's the Unknown Comics exclusive. That was one of those books on Comic Tom 101's list of hot comics the week or the week after it came out. It's dropped a little bit since then. We're going to start the bid for both of these at $5. I expect it to go much higher, maybe not as high as the last one went, but you know, the other one is Guardians of the Galaxy #1 Perillo variant. If only it was the Virgin, I'd be expecting a bidding war just like on that last lot, but those are the two books. Starting a 1-minute timer right now. I'm a big fan of that one. I wish I could bid on my own stuff, or like have the poor ethics to just not put this up, but I got to do it, right? So far we're looking at dead air. I don't know if that's the lag or if that's just disinterest or the fact that everybody's already spent their money. Oh yeah, I don't think I told you what the opening bid was. I'm just gonna say it's 7, just because of this one mostly. If you look that up on eBay and what it has sold for previously, I don't know how many are currently up, but definitely a $7 minimum bid. If you're the only one who bids, you're getting a deal. I'll just hold them both up. That guy is a hell of an artist, right? One of my personal favorites. Okay, Comics for All People is saying $1. I think that, and Discovery Bay with 10. That would definitely make Los happy because he knew that I was going to be turning this into money for those 2 charities. So $11 to Comics for All People. Tanya came in with a $7 bid. I wasn't expecting you to chime in. And thanks for coming. Did I already say that, Tanya? Because I know comic books aren't really your thing, but I know that altruism is. So I'm going to put a 30-second timer on that $11 bid for Comics for All People number 1. I'm choosing to be silent because I love this song. Okay, Discovery Bay folds. Tanya, it's up to you. All right. So Tanya, I'm giving you 15 more seconds if you want to throw in a $12 bid. But remember, it is American funds. All right, that's going to go to Comics for All People number 1. Thank you again, Comics for All People. Yeah, let's keep it up with the... I'm going to do all 3 of these in one. Somebody's going to get a hell of a deal. I just know it at this point. Mike W. Rogers, watching like a hawk. All right. So the only reason I didn't take this out is because it's got a certificate of authenticity for Greg Pak's signature on this Incredible Hulk number 603. And the opening bid is not going to be cheap for this. Once you see the last book in this lot, like this isn't even the best one, but I should have gone like this. So the Unknown Comics Virgin variant of Fantastic Four number 1 from 2019 is the first book. The opening bid is going to be $12 for this lot. So that it's still a good deal for whoever wants to bid, but I'm not just giving them away. Greg Pak signed Incredible Hulk 603. It's not a terribly significant book, but you can't go wrong with the certificate of authenticity. And then Venom number 3. Sorry, Josh Tobias. I forgot this was a Venom comic and not an Amazing Spider-Man comic. I knew I was looking in there for a reason. But yeah, that's I think that's a Perillo as well. I know it's an Unknown Comics exclusive variant. So $12 to Discovery Bay as it stands. Yeah, signed, Tanya Rose. That one is signed right there by Greg Pak. So Toy Crunch with, Toy Crunch with 14, Stevie B with 15. Tanya was going to say 15. So right now it's tied at 15 for Tanya and Stevie B. So I'm not sure how we're going to do this. Well, hey, JB just folded Mike W. Rogers. So now's your chance. You got to throw in 16 to beat both Stevie B and Tanya Rose. Otherwise, I don't know how to handle this because they were literally tied. Like they showed up at exactly the right time or the same time. Not terribly significant, this book, but I love that cover. 16 to Mike W. Rogers. And then this one, if The rest of you can look this up in the next like 45 seconds to a minute while I'm still taking bids. That's worth a lot of money. So $16 to Mike W. Rogers at the moment is a steal. Stevie B Comics was $17. I don't know when we got into swing music. Yeah, it was Venom number 3. I'm going to have to pull it out just so I can tell you exactly what the variant is. So it's Venom number 3 from... It's like the 2019 run, I think. So this might actually be from this year. No, that wouldn't be right. 2018 run. It says it all right there. On the inside, it didn't really have the copyright date. Mike W. Rogers, are you American? If so, I do have the shipping costs kind of summarized here, but you're going to have to wait until tomorrow when I actually box stuff up to send you a total price. Is Venom 3 a key? Maybe that's why it's worth so much on eBay. Should have probably sold that just by itself, huh? So right now we're still looking at 17 to Stevie B. So Comics for All People, what's the significance? Tanya Rose with 18 and Toy Crunch 78 with 18. Again, you guys both came in at like the exact same time. 19 to Stevie B Comics. I don't know, the funny thing about all that was that actually this was what got me out of everything. So 19 to Stevie B. Oh yeah, Tyler Kirkham variant. Okay. Tanya comes in with $20, which is crazy for someone who's not a huge comic nerd. 21 to Toy Crunch, Stevie B folds. Okay, first Noel is what Comics for All People is saying. You know what? I can just look this up myself. So Venom 3. I know it's weird that I'm just kind of like staring at you guys while I'm looking this up. There are a couple of remarks in here at 9.8 slabs for like $211 Canadian. I'm not seeing that particular variant that I'm selling, but I'm also not seeing the details about why it's a key. I probably should have looked that up on... Oh, yeah, it's the first null. Okay. So we got our answer right there. First null. So 21 to Toy Crunch. Putting another 30-second timer on it. At $21. Well, you know what, Toy Crunch? That's it's $21, but that's still actually a hell of a deal, especially when you consider that and that fact that it's the Virgin variant half sketch. So awesome. Toy Crunch 78 gets that for $21. We are definitely getting close to the end, which is awesome considering we're at 2 hours now. Previously, I couldn't believe that people could do auctions as long as they do. So this lot here, it's all AVP. So this is the first preview of Aliens versus Predator. Unfortunately, both of these Dark Horse comics, it's a 4-comic lot. The first 2 from the 80s here are not so hot. I would give that like a 4.5 just because some very pressable defects. There we go. See along the spine there how the wrinkles go like halfway into the book, almost. I can press those out if you want me to, if you're willing to bid, anybody. Starting bid is going to go for $10. You'll see the rest in a sec. That's the first full Alien versus Predators. Aliens versus Predator. And the same damage on that one, probably like a 4.5. $10 starting bid. These ones, however, are basically immaculate. I can't remember where I found this, but let's just say I paid way less than it's worth. I think it was like $1 comic in somebody's bin somewhere, so I should be holding it more carefully. But Aliens vs. Predator #1 from that first run that they had, that was just them. I think there were only 2 issues. There might have been 3. Don't quote me on any of that. So $10 starting bid. Both of those Aliens vs. Predator are easily 9.2. I'm going to say 9.4 though. Same thing with that one. By the way, anything I don't sell here, like that stuff that I just kind of like went through really fast for Gray Man, I personally wouldn't have even been interested in buying those if I was at this auction as a potential customer. So anything that I don't sell here will just be back in the next auction, except for that stuff, because it's not all that interesting. Or I'll find a different way of pairing those items up with other better stuff. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Stevie B, with my music, but I mean, at this point, we're so close to the end. I'm just going to let it go. Or maybe not. Okay, so I got a 45-second timer on that. $10 starting bid. So far, nobody's bid. Yeah, Josh R. Comics and Gaming. It went from like Motown to like swing music, and now we're on Christmas. I don't know what's going on. So by the time I get back, if there are no bids, we're moving on to the next item. Well, that's all right, but there we go, some Amy Winehouse. So the Deadpool lot. Didn't we go over that? Yeah, I think we did. The Deadpool lot was it had, oh yeah, right, okay. All right, well, let's open this up for bids anyway, because it doesn't look like that AVP is going to go. But this one, we're going to start the bidding at $3. And it's probably going to go to Toy Crunch. These are all like spine denty, but they present well in bags, but that's why I took them out of the bags. So we're looking at $3 for 6 books so far, and just the last 2 are well worth that $3 each. So I don't know, Toy Crunch 78, you're probably going to make a hell of a deal here, just from the fact that everybody is exhausted and broke. So Pulp #3 out of 4. No, I do not have 1, 2, and 4. That's why it's such a random lot. But you know what? Just because I want to get rid of those first 4, I'm okay with even throwing these ones in. Like, I easily spent $4 a piece American on these with White Whales auction like a year ago almost. So I've got a minute timer on this. Somebody outbid this man. He's got $3 down so far. These ones are both basically immaculate, so that's why they were worth what they were. Yeah, those are easily 9.4. The other ones are probably like 8.0 to 8.5-ish. Just noticed we've only got 12 viewers anyway. So I think I'm just going to, after this $3 bid, because I promised, I am going to show off those 2 slabs, because some of you, a few of you anyway, have been waiting just for those slabs. And then I'm just going to save the rest for next time. Kind of stretch it out a little bit because we've already done really well for this auction. So Toy Crunch. Okay, thank you, Comics for All people, for stopping by. Your contributions are greatly appreciated. Okay, now, oh, Mike Rogers just said 5. Okay, so tell you what, Toy Crunch 78, I'm giving you 30 seconds to outbid Mike W. Rogers. And yes, slab is coming. I'd almost rather hang on to this until I get enough viewers in that I can get what it's worth-ish, you know, and like this one, that can wait until next. Shit. I told Josh Tobias that it's okay. So this is going to go up in the eBay store so that Josh Tobias can bid on it, unless I can confirm that he'll be in the next live auction, because I told him that was it for Venom, and then I saw this. Okay, thank you, Tanya Rose, for stopping by. It looks like Toy Crunch is giving that up to Mike Rogers. So basically everything else that I showed off in those preview videos are going to wait until next time so that I can kind of spread the wealth a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All right. And I found out what was up with this one, by the way. It's the first Evil Miles. So, and Comics for All people, that is Venom First Host, #1. That is the ASM 300 homage by Clayton Crane. It's Scorpion Comics New York City Comic Con exclusive. So, crap. Josh R. Comics and Gaming needs that Evil Miles. Okay, so we're gonna put that up first. Comics for All people. If you wanna start bidding on that first host, I gotta start the bidding at 10 for that one, just because if you look on eBay, it's ridiculous. So you can still get. Oh, and thank you, Tanya. I will tell her. So $10 starting bid on Venom First Host. $3 starting bid on Spider-Man 2, but only because it's the second printing. So keep that in mind, Josh R. Comics and Gaming. If I don't see any $10 bid or $3 bid, I'm moving on to those sweet slabs. Okay, so $3 to Josh R. so far. $10 on the Venom for Discovery Bay. Josh R., we will be back to that Spider-Man 2 in a second. Venom First Host in immaculate shape, as I'm sure you could imagine, because that's a very heavy Mylar. I don't know how many of you know Comic Spectre personally, but that guy is very intent on perfection when it comes to shipping, when it comes to packaging. Like this is, it was an A-OK, but the stuff I bought from him was fantastically packed as well. Just like Bake the Snake, when I bought an auction from him, I'm putting a minute timer on the $10 for this Venom First Host ASM 300 homage by Clayton Crane. Yeah, so yeah, he's got like one of those really dense Mylars around this and everything else that he sent. It's looking to me like Discovery Bay might get it. Comics for All people, I know you had to leave, but okay, Mike Rogers in with 12, Josh R. Comics and Gaming in with 13, Discovery Bay with 15. I think I'm on a lag again or something, because those all flooded in. I'm going to get it 30 more seconds, bringing us up to a total of 2 hours and 10 minutes for this auction. Crazy. 17 to Steve and Spock. I didn't even know you were still here. Thank you for that bid. 18 to Mike Rogers. 20 to Discovery Bay. Steven Spock fold. No bidding around JB, that's right. Oh, I'm bidding around JB. Okay. I thought you said no bidding around JB. So yeah, I think it's just the two of you now, Mike Rogers and Discovery Bay. Giving it 15, 20 more seconds. Oh yeah, everyone smash that like. I think at its peak, I only had like 20 viewers. So we've done really well considering the limited audience here. All right, so Discovery Bay, that's going to you for 20 bucks. Thank you very much. And thank you, Comic Spectre, for that as an A-OK. Now, back to you, Josh. You were at $3 for this, yeah, for this Spider-Man 2, #1, second printing. So we are currently at $3 for this. That's the first Evil Miles. I think that's what he said here, right? Yeah, first Evil Miles. And this one came to us from Chad RCG. I'm going to tell you about the condition here for a second. The only reason I didn't take it out of the bag was so that I could read what he had on the back here. But I think he got it in one of those mystery boxes because I don't know if you can see that, but it says 20 bucks. You know how sometimes with those mystery boxes, they put what a comic is worth so that you feel like you got your money's worth if you paid like $100 for 10 books. I can't say for sure that this is worth 20 bucks American, but currently we're at 3. So I'm going to put a minute timer on that. And I hope I'm not on a delay because it looks like Josh R is going to take that away for $3. Okay, it's like 10 more seconds, and I will be congratulating Josh. All right, congratulations, Josh R. That's going to you for $3. Yeah, and like I said, all that other stuff, unless any of you watch the preview and you want to yell at me like, hey, what about that Perillo Amazing Spider-Man #22? You know, we're down to 12 viewers. We're still doing all right, but I want to bring it to a close here. So, yeah, first one we're going to put up is this Batman 50. Jim Lee, half sketch, half color variant, number 50 from New 52. And I'm going to start the bidding at $10 for both of these slabs, which I know is crazy, but I mean, the likelihood that they're actually going to go for $10 is pretty slim. Even if they do, they were free. It's going to a good cause. So $10 for this Batman 50. Scott Snyder story, Greg Capullo and Danny Mikey art, Chris Daughtry and Jim Lee cover. So $10 to Josh R Comics and Gaming, 11 to Josh R Comics and Gaming, Steven Spock 11, 12 to Josh R Comics and Gaming, Stevie B with $15, Steven Spock with $14, 16 to Josh R Comics and Gaming, 17 to Steven Spock, 18 to Josh R Comics and Gaming. Fold from Discovery Bay Comics. Okay, we're putting a 1-minute timer on this. $18 currently to Josh R Comics and Gaming. My wife just texted me, I love you, hope you sleep well. Aw, she doesn't know that I'm still working. $20 to Stevie B Comics. I guess she could assume, considering that I haven't texted her in like forever. 21 from Josh R. Comics and Gaming. Stevie B fold. Steven Spock fold. I think that leaves us with just Josh, right? For 21 bucks. Yes, sirree. I'm still going to throw 30 seconds on that just in case any of the other 6 people watching have any interest in this. Yeah, right. So Stevie B, that is very true. And I really shouldn't have said that out loud, huh? So that is going to Josh R. All right. Thank you again, sir. And then this one to close out the night. It's about the same level of importance as the one I just showed off, but we got another Jim Lee cover. 9.6. I think this was just a B cover and Scott Williams on color. So I think it was just a B cover. I remember buying it, $10 from Josh R. Comics and Gaming. Yeah, but just having it in a slab, like that's an excellent piece of art right there. And beautifully colored as well, I might add. Steven Spock, $15. And the fact that it's a slab, and slabs generally cost like what? Is it 30 American or 30 Canadian to get something slabbed, unless you happen to catch them on one of their sales? So $15 to Steven Spock is still a hell of a deal, even though it is only just above cover price for the book itself. I'm going to put a minute timer on it starting now. And Josh R. folds, so I'm giving a minute to everybody else in the chat. Oh, it's Justice League #1. Sorry. I might not have said that out loud because I just cover, I guess. So Justice League #1, Jim Lee variant, 9.6 CGC. Nothing too significant about it either, other than the fact that it's a #1. Stevie B with $16. 17 to Steven Spock. So I'm going to start the minute over again, I think, right now. 18 to Stevie B. And I think because the majority of people who have purchased things are still in the chat, that Steven Spock folding. Yeah, I'm going to put this back up. So even though I'm going to have to go back through the entire video because I'm doing this solo, so I haven't been able to write down what everybody bought, who bought it, how much they bought it for. I'm going to have to rewatch this entire video either now or tomorrow morning. I'm going to say tomorrow morning. How's that sound? Still at Stevie B with $18. So everybody who bought something, email me at comicsaltruism@gmail.com, or I will find you on Instagram, and I'll get your shipping information, and I will already know how much you bought and what you bought and all that stuff. But I need to know your exact shipping address in order to give you a good shipping price, or an accurate shipping price. So I'm not going to charge you until I know for sure. Thank you again, Comics for All people. You were awesome. Thank you for all of your contributions. Yeah, so have a good night. And it looks to me like that's going to Steven Spock. Or sorry, Steven Spock folded. Almost just screwed you over there. Stevie B Comics for $18. It's a hell of a deal. Yep. Okay, Stevie B, thank you very much. Yeah, I guess wish me luck going over this 2-hour and 20-minute video and finding out what everybody bought and then getting a hold of each and every one of you. I'll probably have a better system next time. Maybe I'll make the OBS a little better somehow, because then I can off camera be doing this because the table is holding my books up for me. I had this all planned out. It was going to be perfect. I'd say it still ended up going really well, though. So thank you to everybody who came in. Thank you for everybody who stuck around. And thank you to anybody watching it in the replay, though I don't know why you would be. It's a super long video. Okay. Good night to everybody. And thank you, Mike Rogers, for emailing me now. Stevie B, I will hit you up on IG. Thank you, Drasier, for hitting me up on IG as well. And thank you to everybody else for being here and bidding and everything. And yes, you did, Stevie B. You got the last one. I'm just glad that I didn't make it half an hour longer by putting up all the rest of that stuff. That'll be up next month, or I'll be putting it up on the eBay store. All right. Thank you for stopping in, everybody. Bye.